Hello everybody, I'm Jude and this is Lammy, and together we are Little Lamb Tales. And remember, you can always join us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. This week we've got a very special story because tomorrow is St Patrick's Day. So we thought that we would do a special story from Ireland. And this story is about a beautiful musical instrument called a harp. And a harp is an instrument that sits on the floor and you pull the strings like this and it makes beautiful music. And for some reason the harps have always been associated with Ireland, and so we're going to find out how the very first harp came to be in Ireland. This is a story by Gráinne Robbins and it goes like this. Long, long, long ago there was a man and a woman who were married and they lived together in a little house near the beach. Oh dear, the lady, Mocco was her name, she was really, really, really grumpy. All she did all the time was whinge and complain and moan and nag. And one day the gentleman, Carl, came in and he sat down. She said, "What are you doing sitting in my kitchen making the place look untidy?" He said, "I've just sat down to eat my lunch. I've been working all morning." "Well, get out from under my feet. I don't want you here. Honestly, you're never doing what you should be." "I've only just sat here to have my lunch. Can't I just sit in 5 minutes peace?" "Well, no, you're in my way." "Goodness me," he said, "you are never satisfied. Why are you never satisfied or happy?" And with that, he got his lunch and he stomped out of the house down to the beach by himself for a bit of peace and quiet. A few days later, both Mocco and Carl were walking along the beach collecting seaweed which they would dry and sell. And as they walked, they could hear something. A strange, haunting, beautiful sound. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful that Mocco forgot to whinge. She stopped nagging. She stopped moaning because she was listening to the music. And as she listened to it, a great peace came over her and she felt calm and happy. And she turned to Carl and she said, "That is the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. Let's see if we can find where it comes from." And taking his hand, they carried on walking down the beach. And Carl looked around. He thought, "I can't really see where it's coming from." And then he spotted on the beach near the sea an old skeleton of a whale with the ribs sticking up in the air like this. And as he stood and he looked, he said, "I think the wind is coming through those bones and making the noise. Listen." And now the wind stopped. The music has stopped. And so they went home. And for the rest of that week, Mocco wandered around the kitchen thinking of the beautiful music she'd seen. She still felt calm. "Well," thought Carl, "I've got to try and make an instrument like that. This could be the way I'm going to keep Mocco quiet and stop her from nagging all the time. What to do?" And he sat and he thought and he thought and he thought even more. Then he had a brainwave. And so he went out with his axe and he chopped down a really big tree. And he brought it back and he shaped the tree into a beautiful harp shape. And then he got some catgut, which is used to make the strings, and he strung the strings from the top of the harp to the bottom until they were all in place. And then he polished the wood and he made it shine, and it was beautiful. And he picked it up and he carried it back into the house and he said to Mocco, "I've made you this." She said, "It's beautiful. Let me try it." And sitting it on the floor in front of her, she started to move the strings, and it was as if she'd been meant to play it. All the beautiful music and all the beautiful sounds came out of the harp. And you know, since that day, Mocco has been happy and kind and thoughtful, and she has never nagged Carl ever since. And that's why most Irish homes will always have a harp in them. The end. Well, we hope you enjoyed that lovely Irish tale, and we hope you have a very happy St Patrick's Day, and we'll see you next time for another story time. Bye!